Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. With you, as always, myself, Bob, and got my brother with me, Mr. Scott Tripp, aka the Crypto Beast. As you guys know by now, I do admin work over here at BigONE. Scott handles all the social media for BigONE as well as Asia Broadcast. We both like to take a little bit of time out of our day, kind of go through some headlines in the crypto world, bring them to your attention, and see what you guys think about them. But before we get into it, we kind of said yesterday we were going to start a new thing today where we're going to go to Scott, not only just to formally introduce himself, but also to kind of just we're going to see his sentiment on the market for the day. He's laughing right now, so it's already a great start. So I like this part now. So hey, what's up, Scott? Introduce yourself and your sentiment.
So I have a feeling of green right now, a little bit, but I think it's a little bit of more on the in between bullish and bearish. It seems like every weekend it pumps, like Vibe mentioned earlier, and then it seems to go back down a little bit. So let's see how this plays out. It seems to be following a pattern fairly regularly as of late.
Yeah, man. I always tell people if you stare at green long enough, it'll turn red. And the funny thing is vice versa. If you stay red long enough, it'll turn green. So it works in both directions. But we know the market sentiment's been all over the place, like Scott just said. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right into the crypto news now. And the first article that I have is gonna be coming from BitCoinist.com. And the headline reads: LeBron James and Crypto.com established multi-year partnership. So in a press release on the Crypto.com website published today, the exchange announced that the latest partnership with LeBron James is detailed in its approach. The two partners will take advantage of educational approach in their collaborative work, honing in on educational and workplace development opportunities throughout Web3. So the partnership with will exist in an extension to the LJFF I Promise program, the hub of some of the most tangible community impacts that are tied to LeBron James' family name. The I Promise program includes a scholarship, the I Promise Institute, the I Promise School, and LeBron James' hometown of Akron. So this is going to be pretty cool. They're going to be teaming up with LeBron James to go in different schools that he owns in or that as a part of his foundation, and teach different forms of blockchain as well as Web3. So I think this is pretty cool because these kids are at a young age. So this is pretty cool. And then Crypto.com has been recovering well in this in the times where things kind of all been dragging down. It's kind of been going down to its low points and then bouncing right back up. So always good to hear good news and good to see that the team's still working.
Yeah, for sure. My first article, I'm just reading this a little bit. So Pablo meets crypto. Mariana Picasso Wright in the picture, granddaughter of artist Pablo Picasso and her son Florian Picasso, posed with ceramic artwork of Pablo Picasso in Cologne near Geneva, Switzerland, Tuesday, January 25th. Here. And then just basically the article goes in there selling a piece of digital art, 1,010 pieces of one of his ceramic works has never been seen publicly. From the interview that was said, it actually mentioned that they're going to, the artist's descendants are playing close to the vest to drum up interest and protect for now a family heirloom. They're showing only a sliver of the underside of the work linked to the NFTs, a ceramic piece about the size of a large salad bowl. The exposed part shows forms like a thick yellow line, a dribbling green splotch, and a brushed on number 58 at the base. Mariana Picasso said the cherished pottery piece dates back to October 1958 when she was a child. It's a work that represents a face and it's very expressive. She says it's joyful, happy. It represents life. And it's getting sold through Sotheby's. And the cool thing is they're going to attach some other stuff to the NFTs as well. So they're actually going to be working with Nas and I'll just read here, John Legend and rapper Nas. They're going to release some music on there, and they're going to also release one of Florian Picasso is a DJ as well, I believe, and he's going to release some of his own music on there as well. So there's going to be a lot of added features in there, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, man, that's super dope, and it's almost like antiques. The word antique is going to be replaced with NFT now, right? Because NFTs are the new antiques. So to see that they're taking some of the things from her childhood in the 1950s and selling it now as NFT, it's pretty much the same concept. So I think that's really dope. And speaking of rappers, you was I know you said Nas and John Legend was on there. My next article is actually coming from Sandbox, more bullish news for Sandbox. So Sandbox, the headline is coming from Cointelegraph, and the headline reads, Sandbox Metaverse tokens gains 40% at the Snoop Dogg Warner Music partnership. So traders decided to increase their exposure to Sandbox after they announced partnership with the American rapper Snoop Dogg and Warner Music, a major record label. So on January 27, Snoop Dogg tweeted a tweezer of what appeared to be his upcoming NFT collection, dubbed Snoop Avatars. The rapper hinted that his avatars will become a part of the Sandbox metaverse. So they said, we're shaping the Sandbox as a fun entertainment destination where creators, fans, and players can enjoy first-of-a-kind immersive experiences and closely connected to their favorite musical artists through NFTs. And that came from the chief of operations and co-founder of Sandbox, Sebastian Borget. So it looks like, you know, Sandbox keeps getting bullish news. They said that Sandbox refused to go down despite the broader negative market sentiment in the past 24 hours. Instead, the altcoin logged a breakaway recovery as traders assessed its recent profile partnerships as a sign that the project has strong fundamentals. Sandbox rose 10.23 to $3.38 on January 27, followed by a 5.2 gain to 357 on Friday, whereas Bitcoin, dropped 1.41 in the same time frame. So looks like Sandbox is, you know, kind of moving on its own. And, you know, and essentially in most of these bear markets, we see certain coins take that next step up. And I know for some of us in the last bear market after 2017, the beginning of it, we've seen Axie Infinity, you know, take to new highs and get development deals and things of that nature. So definitely pay attention to some of these metaverse projects and what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And my next one is kind of interesting. I've personally been hearing a little bit about the island here of Puerto Rico. And this gentleman, Brock Pierce, buys the W Hotel in Puerto Rico. Crypto billionaire and former child star Brock Pierce has bought the W Hotel in Vieques, Puerto Rico, which has been shuttered since 2017's Hurricane Maria for $18.3 million. Pierce tells us the hotel, once called terminally hip by Conda Nast Traveler, was once the economic engine of the island and its largest employer. Having watched it stay closed for years and seeing it on the market for a long time, it seemed like the proper thing to do, he said. And I really do think that he will push this to be, and he is too, kind of like a crypto utopia as a hotel, probably betting that there's going to be conferences and things held there. I'm assuming if he's very tied to cryptocurrency, Tether being one of his projects. He bought another monastery there and remade it. He spent $5 million on that. And he is a co-owner of a restaurant, Drift, which was recently visited by a king of Spain. He additionally owns another hotel called Hacienda Tamarindo in same city as the other one. So I find that kind of interesting. And like for the development to start growing there so fast, I think he's kind of showing Puerto Rico they need to sharpen their pencils a little bit more and get some of this cryptocurrency evolving quickly into that country.
Yeah, and you're going to see more entrepreneurs get involved as time goes on, and you're going to see some of these not only like developers within the blockchain space, but developers outside of the blockchain space and what they do. And when they start being able to tie their business sense into the blockchain, it's going to really take a different turn in what's going on.
Sorry.
But to jump into my last article over here, oh, there it is. Sorry. It's coming from CNBC, and the headline reads, Visa says crypto link card usage hit 2.5 billion in the first quarter. So Visa said in its recent earnings call that customers made 2.5 billion in crypto payments or crypto link payments in the first fiscal quarter of 2022. People are using their crypto link cards to spend in a variety of ways: retail and goods, services, travel, restaurants, and that came from the CFO of Visa. And Visa has started a crypto consulting service and invested in crypto platforms as a push for digital currency adoption. So, and they went on to say that they would continue to lean into the crypto space, and our strategy is to be a key partner to provide the connectivity, scale, consumer value proposition, reliability, and security that is needed for crypto offerings to continue to grow. So as the stock moved up in after hours trading, then opened strongly higher on Friday. So that's good news for Visa along with cryptocurrency. It's given cryptocurrency a little bit more of a serious eye in the stock market world, because now these people are looking at it more serious because they've seen what happened with Visa and how big Visa got and how big, where Visa started and where they got to. So to see Visa, going up and then, talking about, how much transactions have happened on their blockchain, or sorry, how many transactions has happened on their ledger due to cryptocurrency transactions, that's amazing news.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. My last article is kind of interesting. It just came up today, but Representative Ted Budd stated that the provision, so the US Congresswoman wants to scrub the bill provision that crypto advocates say is a potential disaster. North Carolina Representative Ted Budd submitted an amendment to the Omnibus America Competes Act of 2022, specifically targeting the provisions that would allow the Treasury Department to impose special measures, including surveillance and outright prohibition against certain transmittals of funds. As Cointelegraph reported, executives of crypto advocacy group CoinCenter had earlier turned the spotlight on the provision introduced by Connecticut Representative Jim Hines that would scrap the existing checks, such as requirement of public consultation and time limits on special measure orders, constraining the Treasury's power to unilaterally prohibit financial transactions. If passed on its current form, the provision would deal a major blow not only to the cryptocurrency industry, but to privacy and due process generally. So these guys going after this speaks volumes that people are listening, and even Congress people are listening and realize that hopefully that it's a different world, that they can't just get away with stuff anymore. It's not going to be acceptable, I don't think.
Yeah, and with midterms coming up and the election period, you're going to see all kinds of congressmen going in and trying to jump in, and it's good to see that somebody's throwing beta at them to talk about crypto. So that's a good thing on the hindsight. But to go to the last part of the day, guys, we're just going to jump over to TradingView, take a look at some of the factors that's going on the total market cap, along with the Ethereum dominance and Bitcoin dominance. Right now, the total crypto market is sitting at 1.66 trillion. It's kind of a good little bounce area, or a good little area of support that it kind of found itself in. So it's still consolidating. The Bitcoin dominance is still high for the liking at 42.69, and the Ethereum dominance has started picking up a little bit at 18.10. But definitely key levels to keep paying attention to. Definitely no signs of everything going green yet. But definitely if you're looking to accumulate, or you're just getting started, no financial advice from us, but definitely a good time, because some of the prices are at some of the lows from previous highs. So that's just one thing to look at. But I guess this is it for the week. It's going to be a good weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. We'll be back again on Monday, and make sure you guys check us out. Scott, do you have anything before we head out for the weekend?
We might have a special guest coming on after the weekend as well. We'll just kind of keep that roster open and surprise you with someone that is very knowledgeable as well. So I think it might be an interesting addition to the show, but let's wait and see. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Keep yourself positive. Even if the market goes down, stay positive. It's always going to come back.
Vibes.
Yeah. All
Until
the
next time, guys.
Bye.
Peace.